Welcome everyone to the 2020 National Collegiate Honors Council Awards presentation. My name is Rob Tualalele with the NCHC office, and as if we haven't spent enough time in front of a computer screen this year, we're going to give you one more reason as we celebrate the amazing accomplishments of so many of our colleagues through our honors community. Now, through this presentation, you won't just be hearing from me, as we'll be joined by some special guests, including NCHC board members, our not one, not two, but three recipients of our inaugural NCHC Community Engagement Award, and from our current NCHC president as she introduces the 2020 recipient of the NCHC Founders Award, everyone's favorite guy, Dr. Jeff Portnoy. So, from my home to yours, let's jump right in with this year's award recipients for the NCHC newsletter competition. The pandemic had an immense impact on all of us, but it didn't stop the competitiveness of newsletters from across our membership. In the category of student print, we have two places. In second place, we have Ball State University's News and Notes. Support for this newsletter includes Dean of the Honors College, John Emmert, Editor Maggie Sutton, and Assistant Editor Shannon McCloskey. In first place for student print, we have Iona College's The Pinnacle. Support for this newsletter includes Director of the Honors Program, Kim Paffenroth, as well as contributions from Nicole Genser, Cassidy Yervasi, Catherine Ivanchenko, Catherine DeParpazio, Carolyn Doherty, Joanna Fallacy, Nathan Lowry, Kara Lynch, Ryan McWanigal, Kate Russo, Krista Ryan, Victoria Sanseverino, Constantina Sklombus, and Emily Varker. In the Faculty, Administrator, Student Print category, we also have two places. In second place, we have Middle Tennessee State Universities, From the Borough to the Beltway. Support for this newsletter includes Dean of the University Honors College, John Vile, Designer Brittany Stokes, and Honors Publication Coordinator, Marsha Powers. First place for Faculty, Administrator, Student Print goes to University of Maine's Minerva. Support for this newsletter includes Dean of Honors, Francois Amar, Val Ireland of the Division of Marketing and Communications, and Honors staff member Kara Doiron. In the category of Student Electronic, we have three places. In third place, The Honor Code from California State University, Long Beach. Support for this newsletter includes Interim Director Bonnie Gaser, Editor-in-Chief and Lead Designer Hannah Gatan, and Cover Designer Caitlin Serrano. Second place goes to California Polytechnic State University, San Luis Obispo's Honora. Support for this newsletter includes Program Director Greg Fiefel, Ava Schaffbuck, Christine Evans, and Cody Capella. And in first place for Student Electronic, we have Brain Stew from the University of Missouri, St. Louis. Support for this newsletter includes Dean of the Honors College, Edmund Sanchez, Sammy Jacobs, Monica Holtmeyer, and Tony DeLuvia. And in our final newsletter competition category, Faculty, Administrator, Student Electronic, we have three recipients, but two places. In third place, The Navigator from the University of North Carolina, Greensboro. Support for this newsletter includes Kelly Thomas, James Stevens, and Destiny Brooks. Now here is where it gets interesting for this category. There is no second place recipient for this award because we have a tie for first place. First up for first place in the Faculty, Administrator, Student Electronic category is Monday Minute by Eastern Michigan University. Support for this newsletter includes Dean Ann Eisenberg, as well as Sequoia West and Katie Fry. And next in our tie for first place, Providence from University of Missouri, St. Louis. Support for this newsletter includes Dean of the Honors College, Edmund Sanchez, layout by Kevin Cookno, layout faculty advisor Nicole Gavers, and editorial assistance by Dan Girth. Before we move on, we want to give a big thank you to the person in charge of the NCHC newsletter competition, Rusty Rushton of the University of Alabama at Birmingham, whom also serves as co-chair of the NCHC Publications Board. And his panel of judges for this year, Sean Soros of Bowling Green State University, Elizabeth Rockman of University of Illinois at Urbana-Champaign, Jennifer Costco of DePaul University, and Cami Mondo of Westminster College. The Portz Fellowship program was launched in 2010 and is supported by the John and Edith Portz Interdisciplinary Research Fellowship. It is intended to support creative and innovative endeavors that cross boundaries, inviting applications from individuals who wish to undertake cross-disciplinary research or from a team of 2 students from different disciplines who propose a single collaborative project. The project will then be funded for a period of up to 18 months. This year, under the direction of Portz Fellowship Committee Chair Don Rosenblum of Nova Southeastern University, the NCHC was fortunate enough to award 6 students with the Portz Interdisciplinary Research Fellowship. First up is Ariadna Guevara of St. Edward's University. Ariadna's project is titled Depictions of 1989 in Germany and China, an analysis on portrayal of history, collective memory, and their implications on political orientation. Next, we have Kamiar of Drexel University for their project entitled Do Employers Screen Applicants Based on Work History? A text analysis of help wanted ads. Also receiving this fellowship award is Wahid Khalili of University of North Florida. Wahid's project is titled The Long-Term Effects of Health Disparities on Refugee Communities. Next is Gabriela Mastalers of University of Northern Colorado. Gabriela's project is titled Accent Modification and Identity, a phenomenological study exploring the experiences of international students and immigrants and refugees. Dominican University of California's Mia Nguyen will also receive the Portz Interdisciplinary Research Fellowship for her project Furthering Cultural Competency in Psychological Research, a case study with Vietnamese seniors in Marin County. Our final recipient of the 2020 Portz Interdisciplinary Fellowship is Nastasia Sprovitskaya of Siberian Federal University for her project titled Arts in Honors, the Pedagogical Potential of the Work of Art in Honors Education. Under the direction of the NCHC Awards and Grants Committee co-chair Betsy Arison of the University of Baltimore, the committee named 4 recipients in the 2020 NCHC Portz Scholars competition for outstanding undergraduate honors papers. The competition this year included 47 institutional nominees, and the overall quality of the papers was, as always, outstanding. Betsy added the selection committee was especially impressed by its unique originality. Each of these scholars presented their research projects as part of a live featured session during the NCHC 20 virtual event series. Our first Portz Scholar, named in the interdisciplinary category, was Molly Kealohilani Miyamoto of the University of Hawaii at Manoa for her paper entitled No Ke Kā Lai Vai, The Elements of 19th Century Hawaiian Economics. The Portz Scholar named in the creative category was Anna Nisley of Kutztown University of Pennsylvania for her paper Stories of the Appalachian Trail. The Portz Scholar named in the Sciences and Mathematics category was Adam Weiner of Millersville University for his research project Improving Tornado Watch and Warning Lead Time, a case study on the April 25, 2014 severe weather event in eastern North Carolina. Also in the Sciences and Mathematics category, our last Portz Scholar for 2020 is Genevieve Verville of the University of Mississippi for her research project titled Raman Spectroscopic and Quantum Chemical Investigation of the Effects of Trimethylamine N-oxide, TMAO, on hydrated urea, hydrated guanidinium, and hydrogen-bonded networks. NCHC's Community Engagement Award was created by the Student Affairs Committee to showcase how honors education leads members to make a difference in their communities. Emphasizing student excellence outside of the classroom, the recipient of the NCHC Community Engagement Award would get the opportunity to present their project at our annual conference each year. Because of our virtual transition, we wanted to showcase these projects here during our awards presentation. Our Student Affairs Committee felt both of these projects present very relevant needs within their communities. And since this is the inaugural year of the award, they wanted our membership to see the work students are doing to improve their individual communities and hopefully inspire other students to make a difference. Our first recipients for this award comes from Alicia Lin and Mi-Jin Cho of Virginia Commonwealth University. Here is what they conducted through their project titled Storytelling and Healing.
Hi, I'm Alicia Lin.
Hi, my name is Mi-Jin Cho.
And we're part of the student organization Storytelling and Healing at VCU Honors College. And we're honored to be the recipients of the NCHC Community Engagement Award and are really excited to share our organization's work with you today.
Storytelling and Healing began as a collaboration between Alicia and I as honors students in the Honors 200 Rhetoric class, where we stumbled upon these ideas of narrative and storytelling as foundations for human connection. And this was the idea that we wanted to bring to VCU Honors, the university, and the broader Richmond community. Throughout 2019 and 2020, we met weekly to plan, seek mentors on campus, and research, both to educate ourselves and to establish a evidence-based foundation for the innate connection between story and the complexity of human healing. We were finally able to launch in fall of 2020 with virtual programming. In the building phase, we didn't really consider time and space as factors for the launch of our group. We were just passionate about the ideas that we had. But this semester, we've come to recognize that there is really no better time than now when we consider the massive challenges faced by our world as a whole during this time. Within VCU, students have a lot to say about things, and we wanted to privilege those voices as best as we can while inviting healing on an individual, social, and a community level.
So thus, the ultimate goal of our group is really to facilitate this open dialogue on critical social issues and prompt reconciliation in ourselves and in our communities through the different modalities of language. So one of our biggest priorities is ensuring that each of our spaces, whether a live Zoom room, a discussion group, a conference panel, that they're all inclusive, that they're all open and accepting for everyone who's attending. And so we always begin by establishing these community norms, such as speaking from the heart, and really embodying this process of think, breathe, and respond.
Our fall program consisted of a series of open discussion groups centered around themes of healing. And in each, we invited students to think critically about healing texts from across forms. Our September programming and discussions were related to the COVID-19 pandemic from 4 angles: the art of music, music throughout pandemic history, rethinking space as a mode of creativity rather than contagion, and finally, the effect of the pandemic on live performance art. Throughout, we prompted students to consider the question, how do we connect during times of inherent disconnection? Rather than serving solely as a discussion group, we wanted to present a unique platform to students where they could explore their own self-healing and introspection through creative exercises. As we're both an academic and creative group, we prompted students to write freely, participate in various dynamic exercises to spark thought, and to offer takeaway activities, such as curating musical playlists that describe their own experience with COVID-19.
This semester, we partnered with another student organization, Active Minds, to host a 2-part exploration of student mental health narratives and the intersection of healing and creative expression. So in this exploration, we wanted to adapt art as a method of transcending conversations on these topics that we typically consider to be stigmatized or considered to be taboo. So the first event was a discussion group where we completed mindful art together and reflected on various published works inspired by mental health. We also held an open call for original student works. So in our second event, we hosted a student presentation of artwork, visual media, poetry, performance, and testimony. So we had incredible attendance and engagement, and were able to hear stories of 8 VCU undergraduate, graduate, and doctoral students.
Storytelling and Healing also had the honor of presenting at a panel at the Race, Space, Place Initiative Unconference Negative Space, where we considered the idea of person as plural, multiplicity, and narratives. As part of the unconference, we engaged the audience to think critically on ideas of space and recognition in light of social movements. In the context of social justice, we found that language and story takes on a completely new meaning. Promoting collective healing involves many actors, and we must develop ways to always think of the others affected, the others who perpetrate, the others who are listening to our stories. So we invited participants to write, share their work, and consider their social and self-identities in a new light. The power of this story building, story sharing effect is that it first demonstrates the scale of your care, and secondly pushes us to connect across these divides. In that connection, that collaboration, that multiplicity of voices, there is great potential for productive social action.
Finally, as a growing student org, we recognize the importance of collaboration and connection, not just with the student body, but with the broader community at large. So along with Active Minds, we've connected with the peer health educators at VCU's Wellbeing Center, as well as Golden Rams, with the idea of creating a larger coalition of student organizations focused on promoting the health of students and securing creative, sustainable, and effective programming.
In the spring, we plan to hold a 6-week narrative workshop to facilitate the re-authorship process of student narratives in a closed setting. This closely ties in with concepts of narrative therapy, but the essence is that we are not professionals, we are not therapists, but we are students learning, challenging, and pushing for intentionality, flexibility, and intimacy among students in the VCU community.
Our third recipient of this award is Hilda Rodriguez of James Madison University. Here is what she conducted for her project surrounding food within the Latinx population.
Hello, my name is Hilda Rodriguez. I am from Harrisonburg, Virginia, and I go to James Madison University, where I am a sophomore biology major with both a pre-med and honors interdisciplinary studies minor. Hola, mi nombre es Hilda Rodríguez, soy de Harrisonburg, Virginia y voy a la Universidad James Madison, donde soy un estudiante de segundo año de biología con un título de pre-medicina y estudios interdisciplinarios con honores. My community engagement project consisted of me spreading knowledge within the Latinx population in Harrisonburg, Virginia, and show how there are healthier options without having to stray far from traditional Latino cultural ingredients. I developed this project because of my deep interest in Latino health, and I felt this was important because many Latinx children feel insecure about their heritage and traditional recipes within my community. Mi proyecto de participación comunitaria consistía en difundir conocimientos entre la población latina en Harrisonburg, Virginia, y demostrar que hay opciones más saludables sin tener que alejarse de los ingredientes culturales. Desarrollé este proyecto debido a mi profundo interés en la salud latina y siento que esto es importante porque muchos niños latinos se sienten inseguros acerca de su herencia. La Morena is a local Hispanic restaurant which has been serving the community for 6 years, and by working with their establishment, I promoted a new menu option called Cactus Salad. La Morena es un restaurante hispano local que ha estado sirviendo a la comunidad durante 6 años, y al trabajar en su establecimiento promocioné una nueva opción de menú llamada ensalada de nopales. Nopales salad is a traditional dish that includes fresh vegetables native to the Latinx population, but the beneficial health factors and individual gains from this dish, specifically the cactus, is not well known within the community. Through research and readings, I found cactus is known for providing our bodies with antioxidants and later reduces our oxidative stress levels. This is a process that helps reduce problematic issues within our bodies. In addition, cactus is also a good source of lowering blood sugar levels for those who suffer from diabetes. Within the Latinx population, diabetes is a very prominent issue, where many individuals find themselves unaware of what traditional Latino dishes could potentially help improve their diet because of their disease. La ensalada de nopales es un platillo tradicional que incluye vegetales frescos nativos de la población latina, pero los factores beneficiosos para la salud que un individuo obtiene de este platillo, específicamente el nopal, no son bien conocidos dentro de la comunidad. A través de la investigación y las lecturas, descubrí que el nopal es conocido por proporcionar a nuestro cuerpo antioxidantes y luego reduce nuestros niveles de estrés oxidativo. Este es un proceso que ayuda a reducir los problemas problemáticos de dentro de nuestros cuerpos. Además, el nopal también es una buena fuente para reducir los niveles de azúcar en la sangre para quienes padecen diabetes. Dentro de la población latina, la diabetes es un tema muy importante en el que muchas personas no saben qué platillos latinos tradicionales pudieran ayudar a mejorar su dieta debido a su enfermedad. For a week, I provided 50 sample cups each day of the cactus salad, and attached to each sample, I provided a little card that included a brief description of what is in the salad and how beneficial this new dish is for your health. Each card was translated in both English and Spanish so that each individual knew and understood exactly what they were gaining from eating this nutritional dish. Durante una semana proporcionaré cada día 50 ejemplos de la ensalada de nopales adjunto, y a cada muestra proporcioné una pequeña tarjeta que incluye una breve descripción de lo que hay en la ensalada y los beneficios para su salud. Cada tarjeta se tradujo tanto en inglés como en español para que cada individuo sepa y entienda exactamente lo que gana al comer este platillo nutricional. In the near future, I plan to expand my project by developing a new recipe and promote the health factors to my community again in December. Along with working with the James Madison Honors College and providing flyers and using the La Morena social media account to promote these healthier menu items. This project is a continuation of my desire to improve health in my community. I hope that over time those within my community feel they are more aware of how they prepare meals and normalize these healthier alternatives within the Latinx population. En un futuro cercano planeo expandir mi proyecto desarrollando una nueva receta y promoviendo los factores de salud en mi comunidad nuevamente en diciembre, trabajando junto a James Madison Honors College y proporcionando volantes y usando las redes sociales de La Morena para promover estos elementos de menú más saludables. Este proyecto es una continuación de mi deseo de mejorar la salud en mi comunidad. Espero que con el tiempo aquellos de dentro de mi comunidad sean más conscientes de cómo preparar las comidas y normalizar estas alternativas más saludables de dentro de la población latina.
Prior to his passing in 2014, John Hanigan managed NCHC's financial investments and also served on the NCHC Board of Directors. John left a legacy of integrity, honesty, and sincerity with a commitment to helping others. This award is presented to a student who is not only active in their own honors program, but has also demonstrated a history of service and commitment to the spirit of volunteering. The 2020 NCHC John J. Hanigan Award goes to Anjali Kumari of North Carolina A&T State University. In her application essay, Anjali wrote, "As an honor student, I have been able to grow and prosper professionally and personally. I am elated that my skills and knowledge can help someone as the skills and contributions of my mentors has helped me. I don't get volunteering hours for leading a volunteering or campus event, yet they still satisfy me knowing that my skills and efforts either inspired someone or helped change someone's life." Congratulations, Anjali. Under the leadership of co-chairs Alan Oda of Azusa Pacific University, David Jones of University of Wisconsin-Eau Claire, and former NCHC President Naomi Yavne-Close, the NCHC Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Committee is proud to name the recipients of the 2020 Freddye T. Davy Student Scholarship. The award is named in honor of Dr. Davy, whom served as the Honors Director at Hampton University until her passing in 2012. Dr. Davy was also named an NCHC Fellow. They trust the Freddye T. Davy Scholarship represents an important step in ensuring that deserving students get the quality academic experience needed to address and encourage their participation in both their educational communities and in the communities they will be part of long after graduation. The recipients of the 2020 NCHC Freddye T. Davy Student Scholarship Award are Paige Kane of South Dakota State University. In Paige's essay, she wrote, "Honor students can find a variety of different ways to encourage diversity, from including diversity topics in your own classes or finding clubs and organizations where you can better understand cultures and ideas." Sneha Kapil of Florida State University. In Sneha's essay, they wrote, "An important aspect of encouraging diversity is creating dialogue around social issues. Honor students can use their communication skills to build spaces where dialogue between different groups of people can occur. One such project I am part of is a collaboration between the FSU Honors Program and an organization called The Power of We. This collaboration allows honor students to activate their research and collaborative skills to build inclusive conversation spaces and bridge gaps in polarized thinking." Oluwanifemi Sholadar of Washington State University. In their essay, they wrote, "I have learned that there is something special about the opportunities that I have, so I must continue to strive to be the reason other people feel heard and seen. I must contribute to empowering those around me, and I must continue to help create and support an environment that encourages inclusion, participation, respect for differences, and commitment to group initiatives." Our last recipient of the 2020 NCHC Freddye T. Davy Scholarship Award is Raymond Smikle of New Jersey City University. In Raymond's essay, he was inspired to take on a possible solution to food insecurity in partnership with a food pantry on his campus. He wrote, "With the economy coming to a steadfast halt, followed by the monetary implausibility of everyday takeout orders, people everywhere were compelled to look for alternatives. Students, especially, were forced to rely on the one craft they dreaded the most: cooking. We should not stop assisting students once they set foot outside of the pantry. We should extend help further, thus providing that security right onto their plates." The NCHC Board of Directors. We would like to recognize the following 7 people for their outstanding contributions to our organization during their terms as part of the NCHC Board. Francois Amar of the University of Maine has served as a professional member at large of the NCHC Board for the past 3 years. Northern Kentucky University's Jim Buss has served as a professional member at large for the past 3 years. Olivia Fuson of Creighton University has served as a student member at large for the past 2 years. Vi Kinney of Northwestern State University has served as a student member at large for the past year. Broward College's Quakesh Williams-Liner has served as a professional member at large since 2018. Aline Webb of the University of New Mexico has served as a student member at large for the past 2 years. Richard Bodenhausen of Westminster College has served as an executive officer of the NCHC Board of Directors since 2017, when he took the role of vice president. Since then, he has served the roles of president-elect, president, and finishing out his term this year as immediate past president. Richard also served as the annual conference chair for 2018 in Boston. Many administrative coordinators and assistants have dedicated decades of hard work and commitment to ensure the standard of honors education is carried on within their own respective programs, and have helped to maintain a great relationship among NCHC institutions. We are pleased to offer our member institutions the opportunity to honor the dedication, hard work, and commitment of these individuals. The recipient of the 2020 NCHC Award for Administrative Excellence is Pam Chasting Howard of the University of South Alabama. Affectionately known as Miss Pam by students, honors faculty spoke highly of her professionalism, warmth, and very special zing to the college, which always makes students feel valued and seen. Whether it be her ready supply of peppermints, her wonderful good morning greeting each day, or her swift backhand at ping pong, Miss Pam's colleagues regard her as the face of the Honors College. To introduce the 2020 NCHC Student of the Year at a 2-year institution, Please welcome Emma C. Slick of Ball State University, who serves as a student member at large on the NCHC Board of Directors and will be taking over the NCHC Student Affairs Committee as co-chair in the new year.
Thank you, Rob. Enthusiasm, stamina, and self-discipline are just some of the incredible qualities this student's honors director has written about in their nomination letter. Their director says this student's work has greatly enriched the experience of their fellow students. As director of a branch of their student government, this student began work even before their term officially started, by creating resources to support both continuing and incoming students in their now completely virtual campus. Their director says this student has made a greater impact in the 4 months of their elected office than other directors have done in their whole year. They accepted their online environment not as an obstacle to doing things well, but as an opportunity to do things better. Due to restrictions brought forth by the pandemic, this student was worried about other students who were joining them without ever having set foot on campus, and created an online honors mentoring program. They welcomed new students even before classes started, and their director expressed how grateful the new students are to have these homes, and how happy the continuing students are to have places to keep up their relationships as they cope with the stresses of transfer applications and remote instruction. The NCHC Student of the Year Award are the only 2 awards kept secret until the awards ceremony. So we are proud to announce the 2020 NCHC Student of the Year at the 2-year institution is Preston Hong of Saddleback College. Preston is an aspiring mechanical engineering major and says he has participated in various experiences, which has allowed him to develop a skill set niche that he applies to all of his academic and personal endeavors. His director, Alana Rosenberg, says Preston is someone whom she believes is a representative of the best in community college honors.
NCHC Fellows are distinguished individuals who have given substantial time and energy to furthering the cause of honors education. The recognition of the NCHC Fellows began in 2010 and was created to commemorate years of dedication and leadership. Each class of the NCHC Fellows are nominated for their involvement in the NCHC, regional, and/or state honors organizational leadership, and recognition for outstanding honors teaching on their home campus. Fellows are also noted for their assistance providing to the development of the honors programs and colleges within our membership, and have a demonstrative record of sustained commitment to honors education. This year, we celebrate 2 individuals who make up the 11th class to be inducted as a Fellow of the National Collegiate Honors Council. First up is Linda Frost of the University of Tennessee at Chattanooga. A professor of English, Linda has been active in honors since 2004, first as Associate Director at the University of Alabama at Birmingham, then as Director at Eastern Kentucky University, and now as Dean at UTC. Frost has served as a member of the NCHC Board of Directors, co-chair of the Publications Board, and a member of the Conference Planning Committee. For 6 years, she ran the NCHC newsletter competition and has served in many different offices, including President of the Southern Regional Honors Council. Her colleagues say Linda brings a delightful energy, a spirit of collegiality, and a professionalism to all of her honors activities. She has enriched our understanding of and opportunities in honors education. The second inductee into this year's class of NCHC Fellows is our organization's Executive Director, Mary Beth Rathie. The NCHC Board of Directors and Executive Committee collaborated on a nomination for Mary Beth, as she has spent the past 6 years working tirelessly to advance the cause of NCHC and honors education across the country and throughout the world. Mary Beth has provided amazing leadership in guiding the board to design a powerful strategic plan, a new diversity statement, enhanced programming, and a host of other benefits for our membership. The executive officers add that Mary Beth has been and continues to be a supportive, intelligent, and creative partner to a myriad of NCHC presidents, in spite of all their different personalities and idiosyncrasies. Congratulations to both inductees of the NCHC Fellows class of 2020. To introduce the 2020 NCHC Student of the Year at a four-year institution, let's welcome back Emma Cieslak of Ball State University and of the NCHC Student Affairs Committee, which serves as the selection panel for the Student of the Year awards.
Thank you, Rob. For some students, honors education is a pathway chosen before starting one's collegiate journey. For others, it's a discovery made while finding other parts of their identity. This student's director says from starting college outside of honors, they progressed rapidly to become a recognized leader, not only within their local honors community, but also at the national level through many different avenues. Within their own campus, this student's director says they are universally regarded among peers as a kind friend, an attentive mentor, and a visionary leader. And even currently serving as a peer mentor for incoming first-year honors students. Their director says teaching alongside this student as they work with new students has reminded them powerfully of their generous spirit and brilliance as a communicator. This student shares they did not have others to lean on and struggled to define themselves. They find their peer mentor role exhilarating because of the chance to serve and help fellow honors students at this critical transition moment in their lives. The 2020 NCHC Student of the Year at a four-year institution is Nicholas Koenig of Eastern Kentucky University. Nicholas is a biology major with minors in chemistry, statistics, geography, and music. Nick carries a 4.0 GPA and aims at a PhD and a career in botanical research. Already a winner of the prestigious and nationally competitive Barry Goldwater Scholarship in 2019, he also became EKU's first ever undergraduate winner of a DAD Fellowship for research in Germany in 2020, and most recently EKU's first ever Rhodes Scholar finalist. His honors director, David Coleman, says Nicholas represents everything that is right about honors education, putting interdisciplinary excellence into practice and leading by moral and empathetic example. He is already a transformational leader who generates positive change in his community and in the world.
To introduce the 2020 Founders Award recipient, please welcome in one of her last acts as NCHC president, Elaine Torda.
Thank you for joining us today. I have the distinct honor of announcing the recipient of the 2020 Founders Award. Since its inception in 2015, in conjunction with our organization's 50th anniversary, the Founders Award is the most prestigious one bestowed by the National Collegiate Honors Council. It honors members who've been instrumental in the development and advancement of NCHC and its programs. Recipients have repeatedly given of their time, advice, and talents to support honors faculty, staff, administrators, and students across the country and across the globe. And their contributions have been vital to the growth and development of the organization. Thus far, the Founders Award has been bestowed upon Dr. Bernice Braid, Dr. John and Edith Portz, Dr. Ada Long, and Dr. Joan Digby. This is an esteemed group of people with amazing lists of accomplishments. All in all, very hard acts to follow. This year, though, we have found someone who more than meets that challenge. This candidate has been active in honors for over 3 decades at a variety of institutions, including UNLV and Georgia Perimeter College. He recently retired as Professor of English and Associate Dean of the Honors College at Georgia State University Perimeter College. Additionally, he's been an active member of the Georgia Collegiate Honors Council, as well as the National Collegiate Honors Council. As part of the former, he presented more than 23 sessions and held several leadership roles, including that of president. Yet, it's for his myriad roles within NCHC that we laud him today. He's published 8 essays in NCHC publications, presented, moderated, or been a panelist on nearly 50 NCHC sessions, and facilitated beginning and honors. He served on the annual conference planning committees from 2006 through 2020, and has held a variety of other roles, including a peer reviewer for JNCHC and HIP, and as the former chair of the Publications Board. He also serves as the founding general editor of the NCHC Monograph series. We've recognized him with several other founding honors. He was a member of the 2010 inaugural class of the NCHC Fellows, and with Julia Fennell, was the 2014 inaugural Ron Brandolini Award for Excellence at a two-year institution. In her nominating letter, 2017 NCHC Founders Award recipient Dr. Ada Long wrote, "He almost single-handedly resurrected the NC publications, and his tenacious adherence to the high standards of writing and scholarship have endowed the NCHC with a professionalism and credibility that are assets to all its members and to the success of honors nationally and internationally." She also stated, "He makes every project, publication, venture, and meeting into rollicking good fun. He's serious and focused about the work to be done, but he makes everyone look forward to being together and doing more work." Dr. Linda Frost, Dean of the Honors College at the University of Tennessee, Chattanooga, says, "His presence in our organization is in part that of our primary gadfly, reminding us of what we may have forgotten in our own sometimes misguided adventures to educational greatness. But his greatness, his greatest, most enduring, most transformational achievement is the tended creation of a body of research that will undoubtedly outlast us all." I personally can attest to all of these amazing achievements and adjectives. This individual is my second longest known NCHC colleague, second only to Dr. Joan Digby, our 2018 Founders recipient. He was my beginning and honors facilitator in Chicago in 2003 and recommended me to replace him when he took a break from that role a number of years later. He's written numerous recommendations for me and others over the years, has hosted any number of us multiple times in Atlanta, and shares with me a love of volleyball, wine, and canine children. He's not only been a colleague in honors, but also a valued friend, confidant, commiserator in tough times, and a just plain good guy. On behalf of the Executive Committee, Board of Directors, and our entire organization, it is my pleasure, privilege, and honor to present the 2020 NCHC Founders Award to Dr. Jeffrey Portnoy.
Thank you, Elaine. Good afternoon, friends, colleagues, honors enthusiasts. I'm incredibly honored to be the 5th recipient of NCHC's Founders Award. I'm most grateful to President Elaine Torda, the Awards Committee, the Board of Directors, and the staff of the National Collegiate Honors Council for this recognition of the role I have played in helping this organization grow and in promoting its publications as a longstanding co-chair of NCHC's Publications Board and general editor of its monograph series. Receiving this award online through Zoom is certainly bittersweet, even bitter in its own way because of the incredible devastation the pandemic has wrought to lives and to higher education. And sad was the blow to our sense of community when our gathering in November 2020 had to be canceled. When I first learned that I would receive this honor, one of the great joys was anticipating the celebration in Dallas at the awards ceremony and in the lobby bar afterwards with many of you, and especially with previous recipients of this award, Bernice Braid, Ada Long, and Joan Digby, 3 of my favorite people not just in honors, but on the planet. Their contributions have transformed the honors universe, and the four of us have been involved in a great many projects together, and for decades I have dubbed them the three wise women of NCHC. What a privilege it is to share this distinction with them. This moment is also a little awkward for me, as Ada can attest, because she serves as editor of HIP and JNCHC. Editors like us prefer to work behind the scenes. The stage and the limelight belong to the authors we support. Our tasks are the stuff of shadow. But here's a glimpse behind the green curtain. My last 12 months have been spent editing and proofing, at least 4 times a piece, 2 new monographs totaling approximately 800 pages. Labors of love indeed, but certainly meticulous labor requiring slow and slower readings. Those titles should appear at your door soon. Not surprisingly, publications require a village to produce. The work of the Publications Board has depended on the support, financial and otherwise, of the Board of Directors, the many other NCHC committees, and the national office in Lincoln. And of course, the authors and anthology editors whose essays and energy fuel the monograph series. Thank you, one and all. Of course, I'm particularly indebted to the Publications Board. I've had the great honor of serving as co-chair of that committee for many years, and it has always been and remains my favorite group. Its members are the smartest and hardest working and most productive people with whom I have ever been associated. Here's the wit and wisdom I offer to students, and with it the Publications Board as an exemplar of its efficacy. When you serve as a leader or supervisor or a chair, always involve people in the enterprise who are smarter and more talented than you are. On that score, I've been many times enriched through the years by all the members of Pub Board, but especially by my fellow co-chairs. I would like to acknowledge them. As co-chairs, Norm Weiner and I built upon the spirit and values we absorbed when we were the 1997 rookie class on the Publications Board, and then honed as the committee leaders when we began re-envisioning NCHC's publications. First, JNCHC, with Ada and Dale Mullins as its founding editors, published its initial volume in 2000. Norm, like 2 other co-chairs, Hallie Savage and Richard Badenhausen, eventually went on to greater glories as NCHC presidents. Joan Digby had already served as president of NCHC before she became a co-chair. Although heartfelt, a thank you to all of them and to current co-chairs Linda Frost and Rusty Rushton feels insufficient. When we first established JNCHC, followed by HIP, and then conjured the NCHC monograph series, I think several ideas propelled us. We wanted to create venues for honors research and the ideas, insights, and wisdom that honors practitioners needed to share. And we wanted to offer a professional face for the organization beyond our illustrious conferences. For many of us, we were so consumed by our work in the trenches, encouraging, reviewing, and editing authors, moving finished text through the publication process into print, promoting and creating online access, and reaching readers, that we perhaps did not realize until recently the extent of the literary resources we had fashioned. For example, the essay in JNCHC 21-1 by Emily Walsh, our resident librarian on Pub Board, demonstrates how NCHC's publications have reached well beyond its membership to hundreds of thousands of readers around the world. It is easy to stand amazed by the number of people NCHC's publications have touched and the shelves we have filled. I've been incredibly blessed to have spent the majority of my working life in honors education and as a member of NCHC. If some sort of moral emerges for students out of the career trajectory that has landed me in the Founders Award garden, I suspect that it reads like the following. I hope that you will find somewhere early in your careers a community of co-conspirators that resonates for you as NCHC did for me. I discovered not only a calling, but an enterprise in the NCHC monograph series worth nurturing. While struggling beginning in 2005 to edit the first 2 or 3 entries in the series, I know I never contemplated that 15 years later, the monograph series would contain over 20 book-length studies, and that I would be honored with this Founders Award. In retrospect, I can affirm the value, dear students and dear colleagues, of sustained work in the garden where you are planted, and then experiencing the wonders of what will blossom there. Dig in and stay safe. Thank you.
Congratulations, Jeff, on such well-deserved recognition. Well, that's it, everyone. We've reached the end of the 2020 NCHC Awards presentation. Thank you for joining us as we recognized our colleagues. We are so proud of all of you within our organization who continue to raise the standard of honors education. Remember, nominations for our first round of NCHC Awards for 2021 will open in January. On behalf of the NCHC office staff, we want to thank you for sticking with us this year as we made it through 2020 together. We wish you a peaceful end to your semester and a wonderful holiday season. We'll see you in the next year.